Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today. My name is Abby, and I'm a yogi, Salesforce engineer, and creator of Consider Volunteering, my personal brand of community empowerment. And today we're back to do some yoga. Very excited to be doing more yoga today. It is my way of trying to stretch myself by trying to record a session of yoga in my way. So I do have a yoga teacher training certificate, and I do have insurance for doing yoga or teaching yoga through my business. Consider volunteering here. But yeah, I never wanted to go into, or I haven't yet, went into kind of public class because I don't really feel like I would teach the normal yoga. I've been thinking maybe it's probably more accurate to say something like mindful movement, as I'm much more into the meditating nowadays than necessarily just the physical asana, even though that is still a part of my practice. But I'm very excited to be doing a yoga session today. And by doing yoga my way, I mean that we're not going to move fast between the poses. I am still going to try to be active within the poses, but we're not going to move fast in like a power vinyasa style. That's not quite my thing. I will linger within each pose and kind of explore it. Explore within the posture, do subtle movements, try to find some strength within each posture as I take my time kind of moving methodically through them. But saying that, my practice is not necessarily very beginner friendly. Like, I am not looking to direct these practices towards somebody who's never done yoga before, because I'm not necessarily going to stop and explain every pose. I am kind of expecting you to know the pose by its name, at least in a small way. At least at a very basic level. I'm not saying that we're going to go very complex here. My favorite poses are headstand and wide leg forward fold. And a lot of my practice is on the ground. But I won't exactly explain every posture. And so, you know, if you've done like 130 days of yoga with Adrienne, I think you're probably pretty good. You're going to know the names of the poses that I am saying here, and roughly the shape. What I'm trying to bring to the practice is this really being mindful, right, in each posture, right? Kind of going back to the source of doing yoga for the love of doing yoga or for its mindful practices. Because, I don't know, that's how I practice it. That's how my practice has evolved over the last 6 years of doing yoga. And so we are going to do yoga practice today my way. And so the first step to doing that is one, throwing my socks, hoping my dogs don't eat them. But two, to pick out something to listen to. What to listen to today? Decisions, you know, you can select your own mix as we cannot, you know, use copyrighted material on this interwebs, as you may know. And I have to set my drink back here because I will knock it over. I am a klutz. So, putting your drink back on the shelf so you don't knock it over. Good step. Ooh, but as I'm picking my music, how do I want to start my yoga practice today? I think I'm going to pick Shuffle of Melanie Martinez, as I believe she's going to be coming to Denver roughly around my birthday, and I'm excited for that. And so, something to look forward to move through this holiday season. And so now that I've selected my music, I've moistened my palette, I think I'm going to start here in my seated position. My practice, I'm going to start in my seated position here. Arriving to my movement practice. Releasing my jaw. I'm going to settle in just by sitting here in a kind of meditative posture, and then eventually we'll move towards kind of a side bends and probably even a butterfly. Yeah, that sounds nice as we settle into our practice today. I myself have moved a lot today. I'm redoing our basement. I guess I'm finishing the basement as it was unfinished. So I've been sanding my life away today. My arms are quite tight. Finding space within my rib cage. Luckily, my sit bones nowadays feels quite comfortable on the ground here. But maybe yours aren't so snuggled firmly on the ground. But I promise in time, I myself never thought I'd be here and be like, yeah, both my sit bones are on the ground with a bit of balance. As I've grossly misused my left and my rights of my body so badly. Ooh. So I'm starting to get swept away by my music choice today and finding some movement in my first seated posture. Kind of looks like some side bend kind of motions for me, but what does it look like for you? What feels good in your body? What dance wants to come out that was already there? Yes, I do find relaxing my jaw and moving it around in these postures, unrelated postures, does a little something else too. So grateful to have you to practice with today. Right, as normally it's just my doggies here. The biggest difference of my normal practice is that my music is blaring through this room and I don't have to record myself, so I can have as many or as few lights as I want. Oh, speak of the devil. One of these years to get used to the time change, won't you, little buddy? Ooh. And I'm gonna kind of keep moving in this posture, but what I'm gonna do is switch the cross of my feet. Has to notice those changes, what a subtle change of the cross of the feet can do to my body. We're so focused on doing so much throughout our day that we often look over the subtleties in life. So let us focus on the small, nuanced joys that we can find in this life by simply switching the cross of our feet. Even moving my jaw feels different by switching the cross of my feet. Now, what does movement look like on this side? For me, I'm getting into some neck rolls. Recalling yoga with Adrian's analogy of tracing the outline of a plate. How fun. I'm thinking of antique plates, extra frilly flowers, gold. Maybe from Sears Roebuck. Recalling the history of life while present in my yoga practice here. My movements are getting bigger. Probably about time to change position. And I think it feels fair to crawl forward onto all fours and to start exploring, hopefully, the bit of warmth that will come to our bodies while holding ourselves up in our tabletop, but also hopefully finding a bit of ease by stacking our bones, breathing, supporting ourselves, and realizing the strength inherently within us. And so I crawl forward onto all fours if you have not already, stacking my shoulders over my wrists, my hips over my knees, trying to find this 90-degree tabletop while also pushing away from the earth, supporting myself, my skeletal system with this activation of my muscles that hold my skeletal system up. And of course, then we're going to move in this posture. We're going to stay in it for a while. Cat, cow, down dog, up dog, whatever feels good for you today. But we're going to spend our next few minutes in this tabletop-like variation, building some heat, warming up the body in a small way, a bit larger way. Encourage you to flex your abs as we move between these postures. Massaging our internal organs, shining light in our dark places. How many times I've had yoga teachers tell me to slow down. Little do they know that I like to play with the speed which I move my body. And compared to how fast this mind races, these movements are nothing. Mind race way outbeats this body and how fast it could ever go. So to me, these body movements are slow. But I get what they're saying. We want to be mindful, not hurt ourselves. But you see where I'm coming from. Ooh. So what left do you have in your tabletop? Because I'm ready to go to downward facing dog, I think. Maybe expanding into maybe kind of doing like so as we head to our down dog, If you think of something like Sunny, just a down dog. Chaturanga, a dog to down dog again, kind of an idea. If that makes any sense. As I'm now extending, going that one step further from tabletop down to downward facing dog. Oh, well, maybe my earbuds don't fall off. Told you my arms were a little tired. But explore your downward facing dog today, right? This is your practice. We're just practicing together. We're trying to break down these yoga stereotypes and find yoga in our own ways, because we are our own best teachers. Maybe a few halvesy chaturanga push-ups, forever working towards that full, beautiful chaturanga one day. Yes, I've been doing yoga 6 years and still don't do a full chaturanga. The Ashtangis would frown upon me. Shoot me. Hasn't prevented me from doing lots of other fun stuff. So as few or many of you like, I've apparently already moved on to these type swimmers. Kind of a Superman posture, upward facing dog. Trying to find some strength in my lower back. Ooh, so I get lower back pain. Still relaxing my shoulders away from my ears. And using my core to support me. Because nothing should ever feel sharp or painful. Our yoga should be enjoyable, strong and warm, but definitely not painful. Rest when you need it. I'm a glum for punishment, so I'm gonna do another person. Ooh, I'm coming up off my belly. I'm gonna take a pause in hero's pose to give my arms a rest, as my arms are quite fatigued already. So resting in my hero's posture, my seat rested on my heels, in a seated kneeling position. Taking a rest, letting the equilibrium maybe return to my fatigued arms. Yeah, that feels great. Little army shake out. Army shake out. Ooh. as my next posture, I'm going to take kind of a camel-like variation. So for me, this flow of a, right, I'm in heroes, and so I'm going to kind of do this flow of a camel, even though I can't go into full camel, so don't expect that. But I'm going to attempt to sit here in camel-like variation because my hips are very tight, and so I'm going to explore what this means for me, kind of leaning forward and back. And so maybe you do the same if this is in your practice, or ultimately I'm going to go to a lunge, so a kneeling lunge. So I'm going to kick out my right and then my left leg and explore in a lunge posture. But to me, I'm going to take time in the middle to maybe balance these hips in this camel-like variation, really engaging my glutes and my abs, pushing the tops of my feet into the mat. Ooh. Feeling my quads engaged in kind of this equal-like manner, maybe unequal. Woo! Oh, I've been doing this camel workout, so I'm going to take a rest in my hero's pose and then ultimately do my kneeling lunges, one on my right, one on my left. Exploring my lunge posture today. And all that goodness comes with a runner like lunge. Ooh. And so onto my kneeling runner's lunge with my right leg forward. I'm going to go through my camel posture and really try to find some balance as I step my right foot forward. And explore this posture. Hands up, hands down, legs straight. Move it all about. One of these years I'll get around to doing how I feel or move through each posture. We'll get there one day. Speaking to future Abby. I hope she's more compassionate towards herself and the whole world around her. As I explore in my right leg forward, runner's lunge. Support yourself from the ground up. That's what I ask. Ooh. Ooh. I'm on to kind of straightening this right leg. Really feeling that energy move. Woo! See? Still stretching that jaw. Even in this not jaw pose. And I think it's probably about time to switch to my left leg. Or maybe you're already on your left leg, runner's lunge. That's right. You have the flexibility to do whatever you like in your practice. I'm simply a guide or maybe a partner, an accountability partner into doing our daily yoga practice. So it really should be daily. Yes, I am trying to give myself that advice as I skip days just as everybody does. But I have brought forward my left leg now for my kneeling runner's lunge with my left leg forward. How is the difference from the other side? We'd like to gain some balance, but my body is out of balance. And so if we need to do it a little different, I think that's totally fair. So we see my balance on this side is way worse. But explore your runner's lunge, kneeling, the left leg forward. Whoa! Ooh, if you fall out, no need to feel bad. You're in this together. Ooh. I'm probably done in my left leg forward, kneeling runner's lunge as right. I did a little different on that side, so extended my leg while more of a movement on that side. Seems fair. My left hip is much worse than my right. So I'm taking a rest in my hero's posture again. Or I guess back in my hero's posture to kind of solidify an end of that cycle. So I think I'm gonna slither forward onto my stomach again and kind of do a belly supine twist. That makes any sense? So sliding forward onto my belly here. Oh. I'm working to cactus the arms, and then I'm going to take my time and kind of like kick my leg back over each way for a supine twist, but from this funny way of being belly down. So do be cognizant of your rotator cuffs in each shoulder as we move into this deep kind of shoulder twist. I want to stretch my very taxed arms here, but we do not want to injure ourselves. So I'm taking lots of time to prepare to get into these postures. I think I'm going to twist with my right arm down first. So feeling confident in my first arm that's cactused. Flopping over the opposite leg to find a supine twist from this face forward position. I hope you've been here before. At least that's my hope for you. We are going to explore in this posture and then take your time and move on to the other side when ready. I'll be finding my own posture. Breath helps move the energy. It's time for me to switch to my other side. Woo! Thanks for joining me here again today. So nice to be able to practice with somebody in a new way. I am supporting myself with my other arm. I suggest maybe you do also. It's my leggy don't touch the ground, so I need a little help. Taking a rest on my belly now that I'm finished with my twists. Whoo! Seeing how my body has changed this far into my breath. Dance break. Hi, puppy. Can I help you? I feel you. I feel your little pity pats. Can I help you? Excuse me. I think I'm gonna take a quad stretch. Since I'm already on my belly here, quad stretch would be great. So I'm gonna take my time and stretching first my right leg and then my left, bringing each heel towards the glutes. Stretching my quad. As mine are tight. Take as long as you like on each side. Go as deep or not deep as you want. Just looking to find a quad stretch in which we don't favor one quad, right? We still want to find a bit of pressure against the ground with both quads while stretching one side at a time. Just try not to let those hips get too out of alignment so we don't strain anything unnecessarily. Do one stretch on each side or switch back and forth. I don't care. Just might be nice to stretch your quads. I don't often enough. Hi. Here's to the Zen part of our practice. As I think I'm going to finish with a forward fold, maybe some bridge, and then finally Shavasana. Do be gentle with yourself. There's no need to force yourself into the craziest of postures, right? We're not here to judge each other. We're here to have the best practice that we can for us. As that definition of good is up to you. So I'm going to make my way towards a forward fold. Seated. I'm going to be sitting for this forward fold. Hopefully trying to stretch my butt a little. Yeah, it's funny that I say stretch my butt and a forward fold. But I do. Oh, so find your expression of your seated forward fold today. I'm moving the flesh away from my sit bones. I like to let my tummy out relaxed over the thighs. Shaking out my legs. Slowly but surely reaching towards those toes. You know, I'm never going to sit here in this posture, so I'm going to move, and I suggest that you do too, you know? What expression of this posture wouldn't feel good today? As I said, stretching into my butt. Here on my forward fold. Letting my chest and ultimately ride my head to knee pose. I think it's time for me to make my way down onto my back, releasing from my seated forward fold and finding my way down onto my back. Where I'm going to stay for the remainder of my practice here today. Woo! Slowly letting my spine relax out long. Maybe taking a morning stretch. Ultimately going to take a moment in a bridge. Take my last chance at trying to mend these hip flexors of mine. Release all the emotions that I've been holding in them forever and ever. I'm making my way into my bridge now. Maybe you're already there. Take as long as you like. It's your practice. Just ask that you support yourself from the ground up. Do go check out our Yoga with Adrian for any of those kind of foundational suggestions. I like to think of a bridge as a wall fit. Got a wall sit going with my leggies here, pressing my feet into the earth. And that's a really fun kind of balancing sensation that I've been missing for so long. Take one bridge, take many bridges. It's up to you. We're just looking to finish out our practice today. What final postures might you need? Ooh. It's windy outside today. Glutes are on fire. Ooh. Mm. 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 I think I'll take a moment and happy baby. Oh, I could use a counter stretch of straightening these long leggies of mine. As I make my way finally to Shavasana, it's my ultimate position. I hope you enjoy your Shavasana today. Let us not worry about what we need to do later on, tomorrow. We are perfectly right in this moment and in every moment. Woo! Finally extending out to my Shavasana. Corpse pose. Getting comfortable to spend a minute here for sure. At least I will. You've got to get up, I understand. But it'd be fun to be with you for a little while longer. So I wish to be with myself in this peaceful state where I am perfect. There is no flaw within me.
Show me my demons are hiding. This step is like please, oh please, my dear friends, be gentle with yourself always, but especially as we get up from our Shavasana today. The world is too mean of a place. Let not us be the mean ones to ourselves. I am only a romance novel, Abby. Taking all the stretches I need as I get up from my Shavasana today. Waking up this new body of mine as I am a refreshed human being now that I am finished with today's yoga practice. And I thank you so much for practicing with me here today. And we are grateful to you. And so, until next time, I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you so much again for joining me. Much love. Namaste.